Hi everyone, and welcome to StudioJake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. I'm an author, I'm a movie review blogger, I'm a nerd culture critic, I'm a contributor to the Daily Wire. I wear a lot of hats. As you can see, I'm also the host of this very fine YouTube channel. And guess what? Yesterday was Batman Day. It's the third best holiday in the country, and I had a little bit of a great haul for Batman Day, so I just wanted to share that with you. So sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and welcome to Studio Jake. Alright, welcome back. Now before we begin, don't forget to like this video, share it out to everyone, be sure to follow this channel, but when you subscribe, also ring that little bell so you get notifications when I do live streams or when I have a guest or when I do episodes like this, because YouTube is doing this weird thing where they're curating your subscription feed so you don't see everything exactly chronological like you used to. So definitely ring that little bell so you get notifications when I upload something new. Now, yesterday was Batman Day. Obviously, it's Sunday. It's the day after. So, I said earlier that Batman Day is the third best holiday. That, of course, follows Christmas, 4th of July, Batman Day, then Free Comic Book Day, and I guess all the other holidays start to come together at that point. So it's a very important day to me. I'm sure it is to you as well. Let me know, in fact, in the comments section how you celebrated Batman Day, because I'm going to tell you exactly how I did. I am a huge fan of supporting your local comic book stores. I don't, or I won't say I don't. I do sometimes buy comic books on Amazon or on the internet and other places. I avoid doing that, though. It's only like if I can't find something in my local comic book stores, then I'll go to the internet. But most of the time, I support my local comic book store. So I live in the Los Angeles area, so I hit up some comic book stores. I hit up Earth 2 Comics in Sherman Oaks, which is probably my favorite comic book store. I love shopping there. All my pulls come from there. The staff and the guy who owns it, they're all really great people. They do a great job, and they actually have a satellite store, which I think they're satellites of each other. I don't think one is the satellite to the other. They have another store in Reseda, close to Northridge, that you definitely need to check out as well. I also hit up Enjoy Comics, which is also in Reseda. It's on Reseda Boulevard, the main street in Reseda. And that's what I did. I hit up all these comic book stores because I wanted to see how they were celebrating Batman Day. So without further ado, I'm going to show off some of the stuff I got. Alright, so here we go. I put everything in one bag just to help the environment or some such nonsense as that. But this is my bag with all my stuff. So instead of an unboxing, I'm doing an unbagging for Batman Day, as you can tell. So right off the bat, we have this Catwoman Wallet. It's from their line called Mighty Thin, Mighty Strong, Mighty Green, or whatever. It's like a fancy-looking Catwoman. Now, I actually bought this for my super cute wife. She's actually not a very big Catwoman fan, as a matter of fact, but she liked how this one looked. You got Selena Kyle with her pet cat, and she's holding a diamond. She actually did like this. So I got this for her because she wanted to participate in Batman Day as well. So can't go wrong. Guys, buy your wife stuff. I mean, don't be a jerk. Don't be cheap. I mean, I wish I could buy more stuff than I do for my wife, but if you're wondering why she can't get into the stuff you're into, it's probably because you're being a jerk about it. Let her participate in stuff. So I wouldn't buy this wallet for myself. I think it's kind of weird when dudes have wallets with female characters on them. I'm sure that really helps them get girls. But my wife, she wanted a nice wallet with a comic book character, Batman related. So that's how she participated with me in Batman Day, and I love her for it. So I picked her up this. So definitely, guys, this do something like this for your lady, and if she just doesn't want it, get her something else. Ladies like flowers and chocolate. I don't know what to tell you. It's not rocket science. All right, so next we have Batman Bane. And this was written by Chuck Dixon. He is a legendary comic book writer. He actually co-created Bane for DC Comics. And I was going through, I got this at the Earth 2 in Reseda, close to Northridge. And I was going through their stuff, and I just couldn't pass up an opportunity to get a comic book written about Bane from the guy who co-created him. I think that's really cool. I think that's fantastic. I love the saying on the back, "With his bare hands, he broke the Batman." I don't know why I'm making Bane sound Russian. He's actually of Spanish descent. But anyway, really awesome, really cool. I haven't read this yet, so I'm not going to review it, obviously. But definitely pick up a copy of anything Chuck Dixon writes. He is a fantastic writer, and particularly his stuff when he was working on Batman. I actually hope they bring him back. He wasn't in my on my blog. I made a top 10 list of writers that they should hire after Tom King. He would be number 11. I didn't put him in the top 10, but he would definitely be number 11. So check that out. These next two just show how far behind I am. So these are actually on my pull list, but this is Batman 78 and 79. It's getting close to the conclusion of Tom King's story arc on Batman. I haven't read these yet, so the review will be on my blog, not here, but this was the next thing. And I know this shows just how far behind I was, 2 issues behind. But even though I'm not a fan of Tom King's more recent work, I am curious to see how City of Bane is going to wind down. They definitely touched on another version of No Man's Land. They kind of combined No Man's Land with Nightfall and a little bit of The Dark Knight Rises. You can see Christopher Nolan's fingerprints on everything these days. So I'm really excited to read these, and like I said, you'll be able to read my reviews of them. I love this cover, by the way. One thing is for sure, throughout Tom King's tenure, he definitely had good cover designers. I love how this guy drew Catwoman. I love the look of Batman right here. Same for this one. It's not as good as this one, but I love the look of anger on Catwoman. I think that it's very fitting for her character. And my next one, from next two I should say, from my bag, again, this shows how behind I was picking up my pools, but this is Batman 1010, 1011. Looks like the next series in Detective Comics by Tomasi is going to focus on Deadshot, which is really good. Tomasi is a really good writer. I was not a fan of his new take on Arkham Knight. I thought that it was kind of dumb. I get them not wanting to make Arkham Knight Jason Todd like they did with the video game. They wanted a new character, but the character just was so unrelatable. It didn't make any sense. Which you can read my review about that on my blog. I did a whole breakdown, and on this channel, I did the Arkham Knight video game versus the Detective Comics. So definitely check that out. But now that we're beyond that, I did like his take on the Spectre, and I'm excited to see what he has going forward for us. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's Batman Batman Universe, written by Michael Brian Bendis, who of course was doing Man of Steel and Superman recently. He's doing a take on Batman in this series. So far, I'm actually enjoying it. A few people were a little hesitant of him doing a Batman title, and I'm wondering if this is some sort of test run, because he may be taking over for King after his run on Batman is over. I'm not really sure if I like that, but his own take I'm fine with. Batman Universe, it's good. I've liked the first 2 issues. You can read my reviews on them over on my blog. Definitely check those out. And again, I'm not reviewing this one. I haven't read it yet. But this is what was next. I got this one at Enjoy Comics, so definitely head there. It's like I said, it's in Reseda on Reseda Boulevard. Very cool. All right, so next bit. Doomsday Clock number 11. Now I'm not going to review it right now because I haven't read it yet, but this series is taking forever. It's taking freaking forever. I don't know what is taking Jeff Johns so long to write it, but it's hit delay after delay. This series was supposed to introduce the DC Rebirth, and here we are over a year into the Rebirth, and they're just now, honestly, judging from the last couple issues, they're not doing that anymore. But I think that's funny that this is where we're ending up. That this the Doomsday Clock series is winding down in this manner. I just think it's so funny. Now the artwork in it is incredible. A lot of the covers have been really good, and like I said, Jeff Johns is a really good writer. I feel like this series has too many fillers for it to be a 12-part miniseries. But definitely check out my reviews of the other issues. And like I said, I'll get to reviewing this one. But I got it for pull day. You see Batman's glove. Batman hasn't been in it for a couple of issues. He got pretty beat up by the Riddler way back. And so I'm not sure where all this is going to end up. But anyway, Doomsday Clock number 11, I nabbed that, that one from Earth 2 Comics and Sherman Oaks. Are you ready for the last 2? I know I am. So, the last 2 are the free comics. Now, DC, what the heck? Only 2? So first we have this preview of the YA novel Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu. I'm sure it's good, but seriously, this is what you're going to tease us with? Don't you know you have a new writer to tease that you haven't announced? My top 10 writers to replace Tom King on my blog is still relevant because you haven't announced a new person. But anyway, I do like this 80 years of Batman. In fact, since this was just a free preview of this thing, I may just cut this out and just pin it off. I mean, oh, come on. What is this? Now, this is actually pretty cool. So, this is the Batman Who Laughs from the Dark Knight Metal series, but they put this variant cover, and it's like it's like the Batman Who Laughs mask, and you can peel it off, because usually on Batman Day they give free masks, but this one they make you peel it off. I'm actually not going to. I'm going to keep it. I kind of think it's a little cool. This is obviously super cheesy looking, but I do think it's kind of nifty, and of course I like this Batman 80 years as opposed to the original one's back cover. It was something different, but I do think this is cool. Actually, this is a neat little freebie. It's the special edition, and it's got new ads, like it's got the Batman Hush ad and all that stuff. That's actually pretty neat. This was a really good story, by the way. James Tynion wrote it, and he's a really good Batman writer. Now that Tomasi has taken over Batman, I was kind of hoping they'd move Tynion now that Tomasi has taken over Detective Comics, I was hoping they'd move Tynion over to just the Batman title, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But anyway, this one is actually pretty cool. This one is lame, but this is pretty cool. I do like this, and the Batman 80 years back cover. That is really, really neat. All right, one last thing before we take off. I wanted to address something. So Todd Phillips, who is directing Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix adaptation, which I'm actually excited about. I think it's going to be good. It looks good. I'm approaching it as an Elseworlds. I'm not approaching it as, oh, they're trying to correctly adapt the Joker, much like, which was the disappointment in Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman. They claimed that they were addressing, a particular type of those characters when they weren't. So Phillips was being asked if there would either be a crossover between the Joaquin Phoenix and the Joker and the Robert Pattinson Batman, of course the Matt Reeves film, and he said no, that's not going to happen. And then he made, according to IndieWire, he made a very interesting statement. He said, oddly in the States, being the United States, comic books are our Shakespeare, it seems, and you can do many versions of Hamlet. There will be many more Jokers, I'm sure, in the future. And you know what? He is exactly right. I've said this forever. Comic books are the American myth. Not the exclusive American myth, obviously. We have Chicago and the World's Fair. We've got the Gold Rush. We've got the West. West is probably the biggest, quite frankly and honestly. You know, we've got hard-boiled detectives. I know people try to say, oh, they're just like this French noir kind of stories. No, no. We invented the hard-boiled detective, and Batman is a product of that. And that is so true. Comic books seem childish because they're really cool. They look really cool, and they've got really good art and writing. And sure, they have done versions that are for kids. I won't deny that. Obviously, that's true. I got into comic books when I was 6. My aunt gave me a stack of comic books that were pre-approved by my parents, and that's what got me into them. They were Spider-Man, Batman, and Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's what got me into comic books. And so, this idea that comic books are somehow childish. I dare you to go read anything written by Frank Miller, whether it be Spawn or Batman or his Holy Terror series, and tell me that that is childish. It's just not so. It just isn't true. Now, like I said, there are some childish things in comic books. You know, the characters never seem to age. The mainline companies reset their timeline every few years. That's okay. Like Todd Phillips said, that's what people do with Shakespeare. There will always be new interpretations of Hamlet. I saw Ralph Fiennes directed this adaptation of Coriolanus that put it in modern times, and it was really good. And so I think that is really cool, and it's a perfect way to send off Batman Day. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Again, like this video, share it out, subscribe to this channel, ring that little bell, tell all your friends about me. You can follow me on Twitter, @RealJacobAiry. Follow me on Instagram, also @RealJacobAiry. My Facebook is Author Jacob Airy, and you can find me at jacobairy.blog. That's where I publish movie reviews, comic book reviews, graphic novel. I'm branching into anime and television shows as well. So head over there, check it out, and subscribe there as well. You can subscribe through WordPress or through an email address. So also pick up your copy of my fantasy fiction novel, The Seven Royals, All Good Things. It is a fantasy story that involves some of your favorite fairy tale characters, from Prince Charming to the Brave Woodsman to Sleeping Beauty and Beauty from Beauty and the Beast. So definitely check out all of those characters. You can buy it at barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, or booklocker.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.